Good morning. This is Anka Metcalf with TradeOutLoud.com, and this is your weekly swing trading report for the week of September 12, 2016. It is 11 a.m. Eastern Time. First, we're going to start off with the analysis of the SPY so we can look and see what we can expect for this week. 212.40 was the bounce area for the SPYs today. It bounced from a prior area of resistance that set support at this time, and we're getting a move up all the way into 214 level. And as you can see at smaller time frames, we are starting to pull back a little bit, and this is because we've reached the first area of resistance. This is going to be our line in the sand continuing further. So if we get a break above 114.39.50 around this area, we have odds of continuing higher all the way into 216. Further targets are going to be 217 and all the way into 219. Today's parameters are going to be key moving forward for this week. Because if we're going to come back and erase what we have gained so far in this session for Monday, in this morning session, and if we erase and come back down to test 212.30, and if we break that, we have a bearish bias continuing forward. But as long as this strong bounce is sustained, and so far we had a really good level, we had a very, very strong push up for the SPYs. All right, let me give you my weekly favorite trade ideas. First of all, financials continue to be strong, and therefore they're going to be on our watch list moving forward. We had a trade in JP Morgan, and so far, if you're still in the trade, remember, trail it based on today's low. So your new stop is going to be 65.74. Remember, we reached our target levels into 67.70 area, and there's still much room to continue higher. So like I've mentioned before, look for targets all the way to $69 moving forward. So like I said before, financials are continuing to be very, very strong. I also like Bank of America. Bank of America, however, did not pull back to a certain area that I liked it to, into $15.25. This is the area where I would have liked the pullback to happen for a buy area. Nonetheless, keep an eye on these financials as they might offer good continuation opportunities if you're still engaged in the trade. Apple has a very nice pattern here and bouncing off this 200 moving average as well as this prior support level from the gap up. Any daily buy that occurs here in Apple can push it higher all the way to 118 and all the way to 108 and all the way to 110 area. So this is a strong bias for Apple to the upside. BABA continues to be very strong, and as you can see, the pullback into this minor support area at $97 was bought, and BABA's already over $3 up at over $100 trading right now. It still has room to continue higher, and it does have room to continue higher for a swing all the way into 110 level. So keep an eye on BABA as well. Some other stocks that are onto the bull list are some energy stocks like APA. APA continues to be very strong and is trying to digest this resistance level. Once it breaks this resistance level, and I'm going to look at an hourly chart for an entry, once it breaks $60, it can continue higher, and this can be actually considered a core all the way into the $70 area. And this would be with a good risk to reward. This would be a very good risk to reward ratio. So keep an eye on APA. This continues to be our favorite. So remember, keep in mind, energy stocks and financial stocks continue to be very, very strong. Okay, some other stocks on the bull list are WYNN, and this can also be considered as a core trade. And why I'm telling you this is because it's really consolidating very, very nicely on the weekly chart. And a break above 105 has an open target all the way to 135 and 140. So look for more upside in WYNN. NN. Now moving back to the daily chart, you can see that any pullback would have been buyable all the way into the $90 area. However, you can wait for a test over 104 and look for an immediate pullback onto the daily chart. So remember to place alerts. TYC is another very strong stock on my watch. So this is at $46 and I'm going to look for a break over $46. It gapped up today with this market and it gapped up all the way to $46. Right now it's trading at $45.59. But I think it has a really good potential of continuing higher. And it's forming a really nice bull sandwich onto the monthly chart, which suggests a continuation higher all the way into the $47 area. Another bullish stock on my scan is TSO. TSO has escaped from this mini range on the daily chart, actually erasing this resistance at $79.50 and continuing higher into the $82 range. Remember that it has a lot of room to continue higher into the $83, $84, and even $86. This can also be viewed as a core trade. If you're looking on the monthly chart, it has a really nice rounded bottom and a really nice stable support into the $70 area. You can see that it has a really nice void and possibilities to move higher. So keep in mind, this is a really good core watch. SWN. Been watching this stock, been trading it a little bit this year, and it's ranging really nicely. Again, it's a core opportunity, but it also with a swing on a pullback to $14. On a pullback to $14, I would consider a stop into the $13 area, and I will look for more upside all the way into $17 and $17 and change. MRK is another stock on my bull scan list. Ever since it gapped up, it's keeping the support level and it's forming a support at $62. It's it's a little moving higher today, and I like the price action. If you're an aggressive buyer, you would have bought this at $62, or if you're a more conservative trader, you will look for a breakout over $63.50 and have a stop under $62. Projected targets for MRK are all the way into $65 and $67 for a swing. So medium and long term, look for $65 and $67. MET is another strong stock that is on my list, and it's actually really nice that it's trading in a really nice location right now, and it's at $43.50 on a pullback. And it's actually pulling back right now into this prior resistance area, now support. It has more room to the upside, and I see this stock into $46, $47, and even $47.20 for an ultimate target. So keep an eye on MET. All these stocks that I'm mentioning today are good for day trading purposes as well, as they are have very strong biases of continuing higher. SGY is another strong watch, and it's doing a really nice rounded bottom. It has bottomed out at about $9 area, continuing higher, $9.50, $10 right here, rounding the bottom, sustaining probably another move to the upside. So watch over $12.50. I like this over $12.50, and I would place a stop under $10.50 and look for more upside all the way into $16 and $18. So SGY, keep it on the list. CLF is another stock that I have on my watch list for a potential long. It is something that is appealing to me, and the fact that it's holding this $5.50 area makes it aggressive for a swing, for a potential swing long. I like it for a further, I like it up further higher into 625, and it has a really nice void all the way to $8 and about 50 cents. I would consider a stop below $5 in this trade. The next stop is PWE. PWE is also it's a dollar stock. However, it has a strong momentum, and it has gained a lot of momentum, and it can run, and this can also be viewed as a core trade. And I have a first target into $5 and a secondary target into $7. So this is a very, very aggressive long, but again, it has a very tight risk to reward. So I would use, for a stop for this trade, I would use $1. So I place my stop little under $1, and I will look for more upside. But again, this is a core trade. All right, Lulu, this is an aggressive short and comes from my trading partner. This is a trigger right here at $66. Stop is $64.50. Look for more upside into $70, $72, and look for strength for a gap fill. Even higher. So Lulu is on the list. It's triggering right now. I have two wild cards on my swing list. The first one is AU, and with a similar pattern is ABX. As long as $16 holds in this area, I like it long with a first target into $17.50, and then I will look for a more upside continuation into $19.20 and all the way into $22. So remember, this is a very, very small risk to reward, but it's a very aggressive trade. And with all aggressive trades, I will look for a tight stop. But however, even if we have a tight stop, I will use half the shares in this. So ABX has a pretty similar pattern, very aggressive buy of $17. This is the area, this is the buy area. With a stop 1670, under 1670, I'll look for more upside into 19, 20, 21, and all the way into 23.50. Okay, Urban. This is a stock that is continuing to be very strong, and we've talked about this in our last review. We have support at $35, and a trigger over $36.70. We'll take it higher. First of all, we're going to visit this high, $37.80, and then it has a lot of room to continue higher all the way into $40. So this is going to make it a very, very good swing trade. Another strong watch is POT. POT is setting up interestingly here at the $17 area. However, I don't like today's price action, so I would like the price to settle into the $17 area for it to continue higher. So again, today, just watch this area. It can continue higher. Aggressive buyers can even consider an entry here at $17 and having a very tight stop, let's say $16.50 or so, and continue and look for a continuation higher into $18.50. This is an aggressive trade, and as with all aggressive trades, risk half the size. I have some weak stocks on the list. The first one is WFM. And this is Whole Foods, continues to be weak, and it's doing a monthly breakdown. So it's a very, very tough, it's in a very tough location. So for a core trade, it looks good to continue lower all the way into the $25 area. However, the risk to reward is not that great for the core. So you can consider this more of a swing trade rather than a core trade. So right now, the price seems to be stabilizing under $28.50. And I'm going to continue to watch this. I don't have the exact parameters on this, as we need more information from today's trading in order to take a decision. Another trade on the week list is MYL. And MYL is creating this base at $40, and it's trying to break above this area. Now, if we get a pullback all the way into $42, this might be another short opportunity here. But just keep it on the watch list. So far it's getting a strong bounce intraday, so it's not ready to short yet. So keep it on the list. Walmart was behaving very, very weakly very weak into last week. Right now, it's having a tough time getting over $71, which is the prior support area from the end of August, and I think it might still go lower. However, it's going to be a tough call. Intraday traders can look for this one for a short opportunity. Last but not least, Verizon, and Verizon has been rather weak throughout the summer, starting July, since it set a high at 56.95, and since then has continued a downtrend and a correction phase. It's at a approximate 50% correction right here. If $52 is not going to hold, and if we're not going to see price bounce up, price bounce above $52, I think there's still room to continue lower. However, it's not ready yet, so keep this on the list, but no action so far. Last, Dunkin Donuts. I like the way Dunkin Donuts is trading, and this is the last one that I have on my list, and this is also a bullish watch. Watch for a buy over $48, even 48.75 for a continuation higher into $50, and it has room to continue all the way to 51.84. This was our watch for today. Thank you so much for joining. And don't forget, we will have two webinars, two educational webinars, free educational webinars for the week of 19 and one for the week of 26. So make sure you are on our email list so you get an invitation for the email. We will have a scheduled education class, a 2-day class that is scheduled for October 1st and 2nd. If you want to learn more about that, you can email me at info@tradeoutloud.com, or you can visit our website. It's tradeoutloud.com/swing trading. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you next week.